Welcome. Today we are putting to ourselves what should be the policy decision regarding Vedic mathematics syllabus, and is this policy decision which I put forward. It should be on these lines, that school mathematics shall be full of potentialities to lay proper foundation for mathematics graduates to have a reach to the values of source scripture, the Shakla Rig Ved Samhita, the source Vedic scripture. This policy decision is being proposed. Let us have a visit to this statement, and then let us reconsider its pros and cons, and let us see that if such a policy decision is taken, and if the mathematics in schools is introduced with this policy decision, then where is going to be the end fruit of such initiation of the Vedic mathematics. Shakla Rig Ved Samhita is the source Vedic scripture. As traditions go, the whole range of seed thoughts of Vedic knowledge are lively in this Samhita. We know that originally the whole range of knowledge was a single discipline. It was Brahmarishi Ved Vyas who organized the knowledge as four distinct Vedas, the first being the Rig Ved, and the source Samhita of Rig Ved is Shakla Rig Ved Samhita. We know that the entire Vedic literature has not reached us, but we are fortunate that Shakla Rig Ved Samhita has reached us. This Samhita is the source of Samhita. Therefore, to have appreciation of the domain of knowledge preserved as Shakla Rig Ved Samhita, we shall visit its organization. Shakla Rig Ved Samhita is organized as 10 mandals, 8 ashtaks, 64 adhyayas, 85 anvaks, 1020 suktas, 2028 vargas, 10,552 richas, and 4,32 aksharas, out of which 34,735 are the unmanifest format. These organization features, as these are, even prima facie, even at the outset, take us to the depth and width of this organization being as deep and as wide as is our solar universe. Therefore, it is the promise of this organization, and it is the actual preservation of the knowledge of this Samhita, which is of the order of solar universe, ensures us that the understanding, comprehension, insight, and imbibing of this range of knowledge will enlighten us, and this enlightenment is going to be of the order of the existence phenomenon of the solar universe, including of the existence phenomenon of human beings. Now, the other basic feature of the organization of knowledge of Shakla Rig Ved Samhita is that each richa is having distinct rishi, distinct devata, distinct chandas, and distinct swara. And this format of each richa to have a distinct rishi, distinct devata, distinct chandas, and distinct swara is parallel to the transcendental code values format of the very first formulation Ekadhikain of Ganita Sutras. As such, this has a very big promise, and this promise is that the knowledge domain of Shakla Rig Ved Samhita, which is parallel to the laws of solar universe, the existence phenomenon of the solar features as a domain is organized parallel to the organization of Shakla Rig Ved Samhita, and each richa of this Samhita is having Rishi, Devata, Chand and Swara, which together are of the format parallel to the transcendental code values formats of the very first formulation of the Ganita Sutras. As the very first formulation, Ekadhikain of the Ganita Sutras is of the format, and format being parallel to the organization features of Rishi, Devta, Chand and Swara formulations, which are available for each and every richa of the Shakla Rig Ved Samhita, gives us promise that the enlightenment of a reach of this organization is going to be of the order of the solar universe itself. As such, the UNESCO register of World Heritage of the year 2007 has included it as a registered heritage, as Shakla Rig Ved Samhita is the oldest book of mankind. It has reached us intact from its first syllable to its last syllable. It is this feature, it is this distinctiveness of this scripture which makes it a world heritage. And then it is a heritage of the order of the oldest recorded scripture. This being the oldest scripture, and it being the Veda, it being the source Vedic scripture, and the organization format of the scripture as it is of 10 mandals, 8 astaks, 64 adhyayas, 85 anvaks, 1020 vargas, 2028 suktas, then it has a promise of the order of the solar universe as is its inner evidence. Therefore, our policy decision to have a syllabi for school mathematics of parallel foundations, as while being along this foundation, the young minds will be matured in a natural order parallel to the organization format of the Vedas. And once the foundation of the school mathematics is of these features, then the promise of perfection of young mind as of mathematical format, as a mathematical mind, is going to be of the order, features and values of the Vedic order. Therefore, we shall we shall properly appreciate the proposed policy decision to acquire further insight about the promise of the format of Rishi Devta Chandan Swara of each Rishi of Shakla Rig Ved Samhita. We shall appreciate that Rishi is a formulation whose TC value is 12, Re 4, E2 and Sha 6. This value 12 and Devta is a formulation whose TC value is 26. It is 6, 6, 7, 1, 4 and 2. Chand is the formulation which has TC value 19. It is 3, 1, 8, 6 and 1. Swara is the formulation which has TC value 15 as 3, 7, 1, 3 and 1. Now these quadruple values 12, 26, 19 and 15 are leading to the reach of the format, TC values formats of the formulation Ekadhike. When we shall be chasing the formulation Ekadhike parallel to TC value of its individual letters, first letter leading to value 6, second letter leading to value 4, third letter leading to value 2, the fourth letter leading to value 7, and it being the fourth, so it is of a spatial order, so it becomes Sapt. The formulation Sapt leads us to value 14, and as such this sequential chase 6, 4, 2, 14, 7 plus 7, and 2, 4, 6, 8 and 1 is of the organization format features, which for the one end as 1, 8 and 6 of total value 15 is the Swara, and from the other end as 6, 4 and 2 of addition value 12 is parallel to the Rishi. When we reach a step ahead, 6, 4, 2 and 14, it becomes Devta, and when we reach from the other end, 6, 4, 2 and 7, 19, it becomes the Chanda. This deserves proper initiation, it deserves proper comprehension, and it is this format which has a great promise. For it, I would like that let us have a fresh visit to the TC value formats of the formulation Ekadhike. The first letter A, the sixth vowel, leads us to value 6. The second letter Ka, the first consonant, Ka Brahma, is leading us to value 4. The third letter A is leading to value 2. The fourth letter Dha is leading to value 7. Fifth letter E gives value 2. Sixth letter Ka leads to value 4. Seventh letter A gives value 6. Eighth letter Na leads to value 8. And ninth letter, first vowel A, gives value 1. If we draw this, then it leads to a parabolic curve, and it is of the form that we are transcending within 6-space domain along its creative dimensional format, which step ahead takes us to spatial dimensional order of the creative dimension of the self-referral domain. And this makes a Rishi, means seer, one who glimpses through the domain. With our physical eyes, we cannot dive within the domain. However, the Rishi, who is parallel to the dimensional organization of the self-referral domain, sequentially transcends within six-space domain at a first step reaching up till the creative dimension, and at the next step reaching up till the spatial dimension, and then visits and goes parallel with the origin. Seventh space as origin of a sixth space. It is here at origin where is a seat of a seventh space, and we know a raised to power 7 is 14 b raised to power 6. It is this phase and stage of origin of its dual status which firstly leads us to value 14, and secondly we know that the 14th sutra is Eka Nunena Purven. We had begun with one more than before, and at seventh, at origin of sixth space, we are reaching at one less than before. It is this reversal of the orientation which is absorbed, and because of it, here the curve, a parabolic like, is having a reverse orientation. Now it was in a descending order, and then it is now in ascending order. And when it is in ascending order and reaches at value 6, then it of its own has a push and reaches at value 8. As we know, the 6 space is dimension of 8 space. And step ahead, we will be at value 10, and we know value 10 as a pair of digits. 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. It again leads us to value 1. These are the features which deserve to be appreciated, being the initiation point, being the format of the very first formulation of the very first sutras, and therefore when we will be processing, when we will be doing a mathematics of Ganita sutras, then to us is available this transcendence phenomenon happening within the sun, within a six-space body, and it is this transcendence within the sun, it is this happening within a six-space domain which will take us up till the origin of a six space, which is a seat of a seven space, a pole star. Pole star as origin of our solar universe is the reach of the mathematics of the Ganita Sutras. Therefore, the foundation being laid as per this policy decision to be parallel with the format of the Shakla Rig Ved Samhita has a great promise. It is this promise which we want to encash. It is this treasure which we want to avail. It is available with us, and it is the oldest scripture. It is the oldest scripture of a mankind. As such, by following this format, we will be unifying ourselves with the best past, the richest past to the Vedic times. So the intellectual limitations of the present generation will dissolve, and with this dissolution of the mental states of the present day axioms, we will be having enrichment of our intellectual history. We will be having intellectual continuity with the past. We will have enriched intellectual treasure of the Vedas. Therefore, if we want to be parallel with the Vedic values, then we shall accept the policy decision of laying foundations of mathematics at school levels of such features that the teaching and learning along such a format shall perfect the mind and make it mathematical mind of the Vedic order. For it, our schooling be a foundation for our graduation. Parallel to high and higher secondary schools, 4 years duration mathematical education. In continuity, we shall have a 4 years graduation courses divided as a first year, second year, third year, and fourth year, and this will be in continuity taking 2, 3 space, 4 space, 5 space, 6 space values of mathematics, sciences, and technologies. And for it now at graduation level, be having the privilege of reaching 3 space in terms of a fire god, Agni, the first devata of the first mantra, the first richa of Shakla Rig Ved Samhita, and it is the third basic element of the Panch Mahabhut, 5 basic elements. The first year course of 3 space is to be of the order of the third element, the Agni. The second year will be in continuity of a 4 space presided by Lord Brahma, Creator the Supreme. Third year course is to be of the order of a transcendental space presided by Transcendental Lord. The fourth year is going to be of the order of a self-referral space presided by Lord Vishnu. It is here where we will be having a full exposure to the entire Vedic literature available in the form of Vedangas and in the form of the Darshan. Therefore, the entire range of 6 Vedangas and 6 Darshan, we will be also having the whole range of Upanishads available with us, and by having this exposure at the graduation level, we will be having full exposure for the mathematics graduates who, in terms of this insight and this imbibing, will be taking us to the Shakla Rig Ved Samhita, the knowledge domain of the order of the existence phenomenon of our solar universe. The first year, 3 space, fire god outline of the syllabi, in continuity of the syllabi of the school, will be taking us to the fire god, and it also will be taking us to cube as a hypercube 3 as a representative regular body of a 3 space, and 3 space is having hypercube 3 as its body of 7 versions parallel to the 7 geometries range of a 3 space. Then sequentially, a step ahead, in second year, we will be transiting from the domain of a fire, from the domain of a third element to the domain of the creators of space. It is here where there will be a full expression of the creators of space in terms of its spatial order, which will be amounting to the manifestation of as many as 9 geometries of a 4 space, and the 9 versions of hypercube 4 will be the representative or regular bodies of 9 geometries of 4 space. As such, the chase in 3 space will be the full chase of the entire range of 7 geometries of 3 space, and a step ahead, the chase of reality of 4 space will be a full chase of the range of the 9 geometries range of a 4 space. A step ahead, we will be transiting into the transcendental space, and the transcendental space is presided by Transcendental Lord Shiv, the presiding deity of hypercube 5 of 11 versions, being the representative regular bodies of 11 geometries of a 5 space. So see, sequentially, the solar universe is expanding from within. It is this self-expansion, organization, feature of the existence phenomenon of our solar universe, which is going to be the comprehension domain of our mathematics graduates, who in the final year, in the 4th year, shall be within self-referral space, within 6 space, within hypercube 6 format of 13 versions parallel to the 13 geometries of a 6 space. These 4 years graduation chase, this 4 years graduation exposure will provide the needed maturity for the young mind. It will provide the required perfection for the human mind to be parallel with the reality of the existence phenomenon within frames and without frames. Once the intelligence field created by the brain is of such an order, then it of its own will acquire a consciousness base. It is this emergence of the consciousness base for the intelligence which is going to be the end fruit of this policy decision. Once we expose the young minds in a natural way along the settled yogic and Sankhya format of the Vedic systems of sequential schooling of 3 space, 4 space, 5 space, 6 space, and once we will have in continuity 4 years mathematics graduation of the organization of the Shakla Rig Ved Samhita, then we shall be ensuring for us, for the humanity, for the present generation, an intellectual cover for the humanity to have a life along this planet and within this universe of as natural features as are preserved in the Shakla Rig Ved Samhita, parallel with the natural values of our solar universe. We are aiming this. Let us sit, let us pool our experience, let us evaluate and re-evaluate our so far exposure to the values of the solar universe and have a considered opinion for this policy decision, so that we shall be true to ourselves, we shall be true to our coming generations, and we shall be true to our ancestors, that we human beings are worthy ancestors and we are intellectually mature enough to adopt the natural values format of our existence phenomena. Thank you very much.